everybody, it's Jamie from Play to Learn Preschool. How's it going? I am here live with you in the middle of August. If you're watching this on replay later, it will be a different date obviously, but today is the middle of August and we do not start back to preschool here at Play to Learn Preschool until September the 3rd. So I still have 2 more weeks, but I know some people have already started back. So let me know in the comments when you start preschool. I also wanted to let you know that there are some changes with Remind right now, and so I was not able to send a text out before I went live, so I apologize about that. I'm trying to figure it out, but we might have to go with Plan B, which I'm not sure what that is yet. So anyway, hello. Have you started back? After Labor Day, me too. Okay, hi, when do you start school? September 4th, same, me too, but I was in Texas yesterday to do some training with some preschool teachers outside of Houston, and the TV news when I was getting ready yesterday morning said that most of the preschools in Texas or around Houston area, they started back yesterday. So then I started panicking, okay, is everybody back already? You guys already did start today. Yes, happy first day of school, hello. Today I'm here to share with you some book ideas. I actually have a couple of book idea videos scheduled for this week and hopefully next week, although I'm doing a lot of training next week too. So I'm going to try to squeeze in time in the basement here getting our school set up. So the book that I am going to share with you today is one that I bet you are familiar with. You guys started back today and the kids come back on Monday. Wow, you guys are early. It's still August. See, in my mind, like it's not time yet, right? All right, well, congratulations if you survived your first day, you did it. I'm gonna share some book ideas that I think are really good for the first month of school, not necessarily the first day of school, but they're good at the beginning of the year. And hopefully they will inspire you to try a few new books in your classroom as well. You guys are all started back. Then do you get out super early, like in May? Wow. Okay. So you know this book, right? Stick and Stone by Beth Ferry. It's one of my very favorite books to read near the beginning of the year because it talks about friendship, about how Stick and Stone are friends and how they help each other, and about Pinecone who comes and kind of needles with them, which is so super cute. And about what happens when Pinecone makes fun of Stone and how Stick stands up for him. So we talked about this book, I think, in 2 different videos last year. If you love this book, I have 3 related books for you. One of the best parts about reading books that have similar authors, illustrators, themes, characters, is that it really helps our students start to make connections. And that is what we want our students to do when we read to them. We want them to start to make connections. There are 3 ways that students can make connections to a book. The first is they'll say, that book reminds me of myself or something that happened to me. That's an easy way. So the second way is they have a book to world connection, like, that book reminds me of something I know about or something I've seen when we went to the zoo or we were at the store. And then the third type of connection, which I've talked about in other videos, is a book to book connection, where the students read a book and they say, hey, that book reminds me of another book, or the characters in this book remind me of another book, or that reminds me of what happened in the story we read yesterday. And we can foster those types of comprehension connections when we read books that have a similar theme. So if you read Stick and Stone with your students, I have 3 other ideas for related books you can do to start to make the kids say, oh, hey, that reminds me of another book. Okay, so all 3 of these books are by Diane Alber. They are so super cute. They obviously have a similar theme. And the other wonderful thing about these books is that they lead themselves to really great art projects. So let me share these 3 books with you. This one is called I'm Not Just a Scribble. Are you familiar with this one? I love this book at the beginning of the year because this is the kind of art that a lot of our students are doing when they come to school with us. So this is a super cute book about a little scribble who's trying to make a friend. It's so adorable, it says. This is a story about a scribble whose lines would cross and wiggle. Tiny loops would start him small, bigger swirls would make him tall. He could be shades of green or baby blue, even crazy colors. He loved them too. Choosing bright colors made him feel free. You never knew which one he would be. And this looks a lot like the types of pictures that our students will be drawing at the beginning of the year. Then one day, Scribble took a short walk where he found a house and stopped to talk. "Hello," said Scribble, "it's such a great day. I thought I'd come over and we all could play." The house never saw anything like Scribble before, but he was curious enough to find out a bit more. So even though he was grumpy and didn't want to play, he still managed to grunt, "What are you anyway?" Scribble was confused and didn't know what to say, so he said to the house, "I'm just a scribble. Is that okay?" "It's not okay," said the house. "You don't look right. Your lines aren't straight and your colors aren't too bright. "But color is fun," Scribble said. "I can show you why. Please give me a chance. Please let me try." "No," said the house. "You cannot stay. You're nothing like me. Now go away." Hearing those words made Scribble so sad. A tear ran down his face. He felt really bad. "But I won't be upset," he proclaimed that day. So he changed his colors and went on his way. He continued his walk and soon found the sun. Along with the clouds, they could all have some fun. But the sun saw him coming and told him to stop. "Your lines are too messy, and we don't have a mop." "Turn around, little Scribble," he went on to say. "Go back to your home. Please just go away." "But you're not being nice," Scribble shouted, quite mad. "The fact that I'm different doesn't make me so bad. My colors are special, and my lines are just fine. If you'd give me a chance, we could have a great time." Should we ask him to play? They huddled to discuss. It's fun with more friends. It's usually just us. And although they were worried this wouldn't work out, being mean to Scribble wasn't what they were about. Scribble was surprised at what he saw the next day. All the drawings were there, and they wanted to play. Even Rainbow showed up, and he never came by. He was standing right there, near the sun in the sky. "We're so sorry," said the clouds, as they held back their tears. "Please come play," said the house. "We haven't had fun in years." "I forgive you," Scribble shouted as he did a happy dance. They were so grateful he gave them another chance. Scribble gathered up his colors and played with everyone. Blue, purple, green, and yellow, it was all so much fun. Look what they created when they finally came together. The art was so beautiful, and it was better than ever. And then at the end, there's a little note that says, if you go to Diane Alber's website, and I'll leave a link up in the video description, you can actually order these little Scribble stickers. If you don't have the Scribble stickers, you could use adhesive googly eyes. So at the Dollar Tree, near my house, they have googly eyes that are on a sticker sheet. And so then your kids could scribble and color, on their little paper, or maybe even just use like a little index card, something small. Let them make a scribble and then put some eyeballs on it so they could make their own scribble person, just like in the book. It's not just a scribble, right? I just love this because then you don't have to do some kind of a craft, right? That's not exactly appropriate and it's too hard for the beginning of the year. So just having everybody draw a scribble with their crayons and then add some googly eyes is the perfect beginning of the year art project. All right, if you like that one, here are two more. This one is called Sticks. I love this book because first, the students might make the connection to stick and stone, and second, because it's another easy, free, cheap art project that's perfect for the beginning of the year when the kids don't have very long attention spans and when you don't want to give them a lot of things that they might not be able to do successfully on their own. So this is so cute. It says, this story begins on a hot summer day when a cold, tasty treat began melting away. It was so very hot and it happened so quick. What once was a popsicle was now a stained stick. I think you could even eat popsicles with your kids and get the sticks out, right? Deep in a puddle that was getting quite sticky, this sad little stick cried and felt rather icky. I should not have gone out when it was so hot. I was sweaty and amazing, but now I am not. I can't read left like this on the camera. I was sweet and amazing, but now I am not. What can I do? This has all gone so wrong. I'm just a plain stick. Oh, where do I belong? Then Stick heard a voice from way up in a tree. Hello down there, you can come hang with me. I couldn't help hearing what you have been through. My name is Twig and I'm made of wood too. Please do not cry and just listen to me. Before being a popsicle, you were part of a tree. There's so much in this world for you to explore. You will get through this and be more than before. And it goes on. Twig introduces him to a pencil that was once made out of a tree and a paintbrush that was made out of a tree. And just like the Scribble was trying to find friends and a purpose, little Stick finds his purpose when a bird picks him up and flies him up to a birdhouse that needs Stick. Just like in the Scribble book, at the end there are directions if you wanted to make a whole stick birdhouse. Or if it's the beginning of preschool and you're not quite up for a whole stick birdhouse for 15 or 20 or however many kids you have, you can buy a pack of craft sticks. These are also from the dollar store. You get 60 for $1. Talk about a nice cheap art project. And just give kids markers or paint or glue and they could make their own stick. And just like with the Scribble, you could let them stick adhesive eyeballs onto their own little stick to take home. Those are great art projects because then the parents will start to ask about the book that they were reading and they are 100% kid done, right? There's no directions, follow my model. They can just color and paint and then stick the eyeballs on. And it's a perfect little art project for a preschooler at the very beginning of the year. And then the final book just arrived, which is actually the reason that I pulled these out first because it's brand new. I think it was just published in 2019. I think it's brand new. And I think I had it on my wish list and then it just arrived. And it's awesome. It's called Scribble Stones. And just like the Scribble, just like the stick, and the students are going to start to say, this reminds me of the book we read about the stick. Or the book we read about the Scribble, right? Because the illustrations are similar and because they have a similar feel in terms of the problem that the character is going through. So our students are going to make the connections. And when they do that, we know that we're helping them with comprehension, which is so important when we read aloud to our students. Okay, this story is about one happy stone who was gray and round and rarely alone. He lived with the others all stacked in a pile and waited calmly with a large, friendly smile. Each stone had a purpose, but it wasn't known yet. Some would be landscaping and some a stone pet. There were so many things that the stones could be. The hardest part was just waiting to see. Stone knew that his purpose would brighten someone's day. He wasn't sure how or in what kind of way. He imagined the things he might soon become as he watched all the stones get picked one by one. But his happy face slowly turned to a frown as he watched the tall pile start to dwindle on down. And although he was worried, he tried not to care until it was clear he was the last one there. Then it finally happened. Stone was quickly picked up and he was placed on a desk next to a very large cup. As Stone looked around, he thought, this is so great. But he soon discovered he was a dull paperweight. I'm supposed to bring happiness, not hold paper still. There must be a mistake. This can't be my skill. Then all of a sudden, a splatter flew high, and then some bright scribbles came wiggling by. They were headed right toward the short paper stack, and they filled up the paper on the front and the back. They were all making art, and it was happening so fast. Stone feared that the paper would simply not last. He couldn't believe just how much the pile grew. Then he heard a small cry from the fun splatter crew. We knew that this pile was getting too tall. There is no more paper. We have used it all. The scribbles all cried. They now saw it too. This is a disaster. Oh, what will we do? Stone didn't want the scribbles to cry, so he thought of something they all could try. He slowly rolled down the very large pile and said, I know how to make you all smile. I know I'm not paper, but I like art too. Do you think you could spare some red, yellow, and blue? They loved the idea and could not wait to start. Scribble began making a happiness heart. Splatter then painted some pale baby blue. Another scribble added a sunny gold hue. It didn't take long for more stones to show up, and soon the line grew behind the large red cup. To Stone's surprise, he was picked up once more. He had never heard of this happening before. His art was added, and more art was added, and he was on his way to become a small gift to brighten someone's day. Nearby, another stone's journey had begun. He was spreading such happiness and having great fun. Every time he traveled, someone added their part. Sometimes just a scribble, sometimes fancy art. With each new layer, there was a story to share, and soon Scribble Stones were seen everywhere. They traveled the planet. It was quite an event, bringing happiness and fun wherever they went. Now thousands of stones inspire creativity each day, all because of a paperweight with a will and a way. And then, of course, some ideas for how to paint a stone. This is one of my favorite art projects because listen, it's free. Go outside, choose a rock, let the kids paint it all over, and then stick some googly eyes on it. Let them give it to their family, someone in their family, mom or dad or grandma or sister or brother or somebody, as a gift. Look, I made you a Scribble Stone. I still have a bunch on my desk that the kids gave me last year, but this is like a free art project. So these are 3 books that will foster good connections and comprehension skills: Scribble Stones, Sticks, and I'm Not Just a Scribble. And they also have free, amazing art projects that sort of go hand in hand. So if you are looking for some new books to liven up your story time or your classroom library this year, check these out. I will leave a link to the titles and the author and also the art project ideas in the video description as soon as I log off. And you might also just check out your children's library and ask them if they have these new Diane Alber books in the children's section for you to check out and read to your students. So anyway, those are some book ideas for you. I'm so excited about tomorrow because I have something really special to share with you about books and about a really amazing free way to liven up your listening center and your classroom library. And I have to share that with you tomorrow. So I will hopefully see you then. If you've started back, have a night off, try to rest and relax. And if you're like me, still in the middle of summer break, hope you're also still having fun. And I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Bye, everybody.